Welcome to the Narrate podcast, where we aim to tell God's story with our lives. We'll be continuing to post the Sunday message each week, but we want to dive a little deeper and offer some content to supplement your life with God, and that's where our Beyond Sunday series comes in. Join Adam and Narrate staff as they provide thoughtful discussions, ideas, and interviews that go beyond the message you'll hear on Sunday. Hi, Narrate. I'm here with Hannah, and we're just going to sit down and talk about the 50 days of Easter. What's with the 50 days of Easter? Why do we do that? And some of the fun events we have going on this year. So Hannah, why don't you just give us a rundown of what is the 50 days of Easter and what's kind of the history of it at Narrate anyways?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I think in our modern times, we've come to think of Easter as just one day. But historically, it was considered a really big deal, like too big of a deal to be celebrated on one day. So historically, Easter was celebrated for 50 days. So if Lent is 40 days, we're spending 40 days in intentional fasting and prayer. And then the celebration's longer. Like that's what we're looking forward to. This feasting is 50 days that'll take us from Easter Sunday to Pentecost. And we celebrate Jesus' victory over sin and death through the resurrection. And we've got a whole calendar of 50 days of stuff. But on Easter Sunday, that is April 20th, we have 3 gatherings at Grand Street at 8 o'clock, 9:45, or 11:30.
And which one's going to be the most crowded this year?
The 9:45.
Not that
Hands
you can't
down.
come to the 9:45, but just be aware. You've been warned.
Might I suggest the 11:30?
No, I love that though. I actually, when just listening to you talk about that, I've never put together the Lent we observe for 40 days and 50 days of Easter is like 10 more days than that, because that's how important it is. That's how much of a celebration it is. I love that.
Yeah, it's so important. And I think that, like, I enjoy Lent, although my Lent routine has been a little bit more flexible this year.
Me too.
Let's say
Me too.
flexible. But I think it's just, I love the intentional practices leading up to this long feast because it's such a big deal.
Love that. Okay, so we've got some things on the calendar. We talked about our actual Easter gatherings on April 20th. Our first 50 Days of Easter event is our second annual country swing dance with lessons from Scott and Hannah. If you came to this last year, it was so fun. It was really cool. Jonathan and I got to play some music, but we also did the lesson beforehand, and it was really fun. I told myself I wasn't going to because I have a very uncoordinated just air about me, but yeah, we did it and it was super fun and super worth it. So tell us more.
Yeah, we will be doing 2.0 country swing dance lessons. If you don't know, Scott and I are pros at the country. I'm just kidding.
They are. They are.
We know enough to be dangerous. So we will be once again at St. Andrew's Gym. They're allowing us to have swing dancing and lessons. So our dance will be, I think it's 6:30 to 8 on Friday, April 25th. And then 45 minutes before, so 5:45 to 6:30, Scott and I are going to lead everyone through a dance lesson. I think what we're going to do is, if you were with us last year, we'll try to review what we did and then give you some 2.0 moves to add to your rotation. That's where swing dancing gets really fun. Once you get the basics down, you can just start to add more and more and more. So that'll be really fun.
I love that. And so, yeah, if you don't have the basics down or you came and you are still not good at it, don't worry.
Okay.
You get a review of the basics. But if you're like, we got this, you get new stuff and kind of lesson 2.0 material.
I think. Do you remember what we did last year? I know I have it all written down. Are people going to forget?
Although I don't know the lingo, so I don't know the terms. I'm like, there was a spinny one, like over the head one.
We'll save backflips for 3.0. I'm just kidding.
Stay tuned for next year.
What's the music situation?
So it's a little bit TBD. We might do like a Narrate worship team country band, which would be super fun.
That'd be so fun.
Just get some people from our team and get together and do that. Or we might get a fun guest musician who I don't want to say who it is because they're very good and I'm very excited. So it'll be one of those two options. Live music though.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that'll be fun. Friday, April 25th. Put that on your calendar.
Cool. Okay, and then the next one is the big shakeup for the year's schedule. We moved Ales for Trails back to the spring. A lot of you love that. I think it's gonna be an adventure. So that's gonna be Friday, May 16th, and that is like Hannah's baby. So tell us, Hannah, what's going on?
If you are not aware, Ales for Trails is a fundraiser that raises money for the local trail system. This is year 14, and so all of the money raised this year is going to go towards the Bureau of Land Management's Scratch Gravel Trail project. If you hike or bike or like to be on the trails, the one that we raised money for last year is built and open, and it's amazing, and we're going to do more work out there from the funds raised this year. So that is
Sweet.
Friday, May 16th, downtown at Pioneer Park from 5 to 9. Tickets are on sale at some of the breweries at 406 Ticks. There are also lots of volunteer spots. If you still want to volunteer, you get a free main event ticket and a t-shirt, which is really cool. The art this year is so cool. I've been delivering plaques, our wooden plaques to our sponsors, and everyone so far has been like, whoa, the art this year is the best. So it's very cool.
So if you didn't like the cat last year,
if you,
you will like it this year.
It's very cool this year. Anything else on Ales?
I can't think of anything other than it's just going to be such a fun day. So come and be involved, whether you participate or volunteer or, just come out. It's going to be super fun. We have sponsored umbrellas, right, in case it rains?
For the rain. It's going to be sunny and 65.
Yep.
I'm calling it.
Just speak it into existence.
So we'll have umbrellas for the sun.
There you go. Yeah, shade or parasols, so you call those shade umbrellas. And then the last two things on the 50 Days of Easter schedule have to do with Narrate Kids. Do you have more info on these?
The kids playdate Sunday, June 1st at 4 o'clock at Lockheed Park. Lexi does a good job with those. I think she brings she brings like some beverages, and parents get to hang out and socialize, and kids play on the playground equipment. I don't have any more details other than
fun outdoor kids and family type thing. But I'm sure you can email Lexi if you have more specific questions.
I think it's just show up, let your kids run wild, and you get to hang out with other parents.
Right, that sounds enjoyable. And it'll be nice out. It's in June. It'll be, get some vitamin D.
There you go.
And then same for the last one. On June 8th is our next, right? Family Sunday.
Yes. We've got one coming up in a few weeks, Palm Sunday.
Oh,
April
right.
13th
Yes.
is a family Sunday. And then, so this would be Pentecost, June 8th. I just restocked hot chocolate.
Oh, man.
Izzy's. Ordered way
ready.
more crayons, the good kind. Because I've been told Crayola stands head and shoulders above other brands.
I did not
Who
know
knew?
that. Okay.
So I've got the good crayons.
Yep. Crayons, beverages. You're ready.
We're set for all these kids. My favorite is when they come up to the scattering table. If you don't know, we have hot chocolate and Izzy's for kiddos. But there's like a few different passwords floating around. And so some of them just say their password, and some just say like, please. I just need an Izzy. And some just kind of stare at me like, can you read my mind and know what I want? And it is so cute. It's like my favorite part of Family Sunday.
I love that. And so it's the kids that are in like the usual Narrate Kids program. Just come up and join us.
It is I hope I don't get this wrong, preschool through 5th grade.
That sounds right.
No kids experiences. They join us in the main auditorium. But we still do have nursery. Oh, wait, we have nursery and preschool. Does that
Okay.
sound right?
Maybe.
I think nursery and preschool, you still have spaces for kiddos.
Okay.
And then K through 5 join us.
Okay. Up in the big room.
I think preschool is a little wiggly still. I'm not sure.
I'm not either. That's going to be another Lexi question.
That's a great Lexi
You
question.
have kiddos in that age
Because
range.
I think she still sets up preschool for them.
Sure. That
Nursery
makes
for
sense.
sure.
Yes.
Gay will still have space for babies. I think there's still preschool options, but K through 5, you're gonna have to come get some hot chocolate.
You gotta
and
say
be
the
in
password.
the main in the main room. At this point, they could tell me any word,
And you just
and
do
I'd
it
be
to
like,
them.
so happily, I will give you.
So
hot chocolate.
you've heard it here. All you need to do is just talk to Hannah, and she will give you hot chocolate.
just
or
come
Izzy.
smile and ask for it. Tell me a joke if you've got a great joke.
Yep.
That's like 2 hot chocolates.
Extra beverages. So that's our 50 Days of Easter schedule this year. It's going to be fun. Anything else we missed or anything else you want to share?
If you go to 50daysofeaster.com, that will get you to our page and you've been working on the website with all the information on Easter and this calendar.
Dates, times,
Yep.
deets.
You can always just email us too if you have any questions.
Yep. That sounds good. All right. Well, we'll hope to see you at some point in one of our Easter gatherings or at one of our events.
If you'd like to learn more about Narrate Church, find us online at narratechurch.org.
You can also look us up on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for listening.